But if I just talk about Gyökeres for a second, and then maybe I'll kind of save my thoughts on the general team for the next pod. I think Gyökeres is a really good centre forward. I think he's a very good centre forward, and I think he'll score goals. I'm still on the fence about how well whether he's a difference maker. So I think it's one thing being a very good striker. I'm not sure he'll be the difference this season. The difference being, does he score the goals or win us a title this season? If we're all agreeing the mission is win a title, does Gyökeres does he win us that title? I'm not sure. Let me tell you why. A couple of things. That goal he scored against Athletic Club, that's a brilliant header, as you've both said. That's a really, really good header. Great cross, great instincts, really good execution. I can see Havertz scoring that goal. That's the sort of goal that I think we can score at the moment. The kind of goals that we don't score are the goals where I think you alluded to a second ago, James. It's the predator type goals. It's the tap in, right place, right time. It's the instinctive finishes in and around the box rather than hold it up and lay it off, turn, spin and shoot. It's the Ian Wright type finishes. They're the finishes that I think we need, which I think in the tight games, and there'll be plenty of tight games this season, they're the games where we need someone that can just take a half chance, turn, swivel, bang, bottom corner, goal. I'm not saying he hasn't got that in his locker. I've just not seen it yet. So while I think it's right to praise him for the brilliant header that he got, I don't think we need that type of goal. I think we score that kind of goal. I think Havertz can score that type of goal. Cross the first man, flashing header,
sorry, John.
bang, back of the
I hear
net.
you, actually.
I
don't. The only bit I don't quite agree with, I'm not sure Havertz scores that kind of header. I know what you mean, though. But yeah, you're right. It's more, can he, with little space, take a touch, shimmy around a player and smash it in the roof of the net? That I get what you're saying. Like in a tight game, there's not a lot of space. Can you make that magic happen? So it's a good point. I hear you. And also, Gyökeres' performance wasn't perfect. There were some sloppy passes. He dribbled the ball off the pitch. He's a bit of a battering ram, but I love that. I love it. He's different. Yeah.
But here's the thing, James, and you've teed up my second point perfectly there. We as Arsenal fans are going to have to be really, really patient with Gyokeres in terms of his output successfully. What I mean by that is, I don't think we want Gyokeres getting involved in the play.
Stylistically.
I don't think we want him on the ball. I think Gyokeres is more akin to Haaland than he is Isak. I think Gyokeres is the sort of guy, if we don't see him in action for 15, 20 minutes, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I think some people want to see Gyokeres on the ball, spinning man, getting past man. I don't know if that's his game. You can power your way through players in the Portuguese league because he is powerful. Bro, that ain't going to work in this league. What will work in this league is you pick your moments and you pick your positions where you can really be devastating. So I think in the same way a lot of people give Haaland heat for not touching the ball for half a game, but he still scores 2 goals and win the game 4-1. I think that's the sort of player we have to expect from him. I'm almost more concerned if he is involved in play. I don't think we want to. I don't think he can. Well, he can, but I don't think he needs to be doing the pulling wide, skipping past a couple of players, laying the ball up. I don't think we need that from Gyokeres. I think we need him on the shoulder, looking for those pockets, basically saying to the likes of Nwaneri, Odegaard, even Saka, go on then, there's a little pocket there. Put it in there. Put it in there. Put it in there. Spin, bang, goal. Back to the halfway line. I don't really want him coming deep and getting involved in. I don't think we need that. And I saw a lot of that in the game. I saw a lot of him getting involved, and I was like, bro, we don't need that. I think the best thing for him to do is to find those pockets on the shoulder of the defenders. There'll be so many games this year where teams will defend deep. The last thing we need you doing is coming deep. Coming high for the ball. We need you pushing them back, occupying 2 defenders and creating little pockets. We've got the guys that can find the holes. Zubimendi will find you. Odegaard will find you. Saka will find you. Just occupy 2 defenders and spin, score. So I think we've got to be patient with him in that there'll be games he doesn't do a lot. But that's okay. That's okay. That's not what we don't need you to do a lot. We need you to not be Havertz and invading spaces. We don't need you flicking the ball on. We don't need you. We need you to be in the pockets. That's what we need. The third thing is, and final thing that was concerning for me, was I wonder if, going back to the power thing, if him just being really strong and a battering ram, I wonder how sustainable that is. And in this league where there's very intelligent coaches, managers, and defenders, if that will get sussed out quite quickly. I wonder if he needs to find a different dimension to his game to really have long-term success. I think the first couple of months, his power will be they can't deal with it. I'm just concerned that come February, March, April, when the season's in its nitty-gritty, what else have you got? What else have you got apart from being able to outpower people? What else is in your locker?
I believe he has. I believe he's got what you're looking for. I just think it'll take a bit of time to see it.
I hope so.
Because as much as you say the link-up play outside is not ideal for him, I agree with that. But he still had 3 chances in and around the penalty spot. The one he scored, the header he hit the post with, and the one he should have scored in the first half. And it's been a long time since we could say we've had a striker that's, been in and around and had chances within that area all in one game. That's pre-season, and, we need to see that against United. But I like the attributes he possesses because it's what we haven't had. It's very different. And I think that he's got them top corner bender finishes in him. He's got that yard of space shimmy in him. Like, I think we will see that. And I think that's what you're talking about in terms of, all right, when the going gets tough, what else have you got? I agree with you in terms of he's more the Haaland profile of striker than he is the Isak profile. Definitely, for sure. That I think, that's a fact. But I also think that he's got a little something in him where he can run with the ball if given space to run with the ball. That Havertz goal, for example, I'd expect that more from a Gyokeres, and I would have expected Gyokeres' goal more from a Havertz. But we've got both types of goals.
Yeah,
the opposite striker got it. So right now, I'm all right with it. I'm with I can't wait till he just rasps one into the back of the net, and I hope it's at Old Trafford. And when he just when you just get that full connection behind it, it smacks the back of the net. The celebrations are, and that's where, in my opinion, his Arsenal career kickstarts. And if it happens against United,
I hear what
I've
you're
seen
saying,
enough from
Jordan. I just think
to be
Arteta will always ask
still
him
quietly excited about him, like I was with the links in the first place.
I think it's just for us as fans not to expect it to be perfect, but to acknowledge what he does really well on the other side of the game, like take that chance he got. I mean, there was a brilliant bit of play where he pulls into the left channel a lot, which I really like, because I don't think our striker's been doing that for a few years. And he just dropped a shoulder, sent a defender flying, and rolled it in for Calafiori. I mean, that's great. That's great, like, all-round centre-forward play, isn't it? Running the channels, take a defender out, create a chance.
I don't. But whilst you're correct, that won't win us a league. Because that sort of play, those goals, that bit of play doesn't make the difference in the games that really matter. That it looks great and it was successful against Villarreal. I just don't want him. I think our problem is because I was with my colleague today at work and we were saying he's not really an Arsenal striker. I don't know if you saw the Community Shield earlier on. There was a I won't say Henri regen, but there was a very Arsenal striker in that Liverpool front three today. Do you know what I mean? Gyokeres is not an Arsenal type striker. We've not really had that sort of player. He's a very good player, but he's not an Arsenal type striker. I need him to be, like I said, a little bit more Ian Wright, a little bit less Robin van Persie.
Jordan, I like it.
And so that kind of pulling to the side.
It's like we've been quite a physical team for a few years now, and I've wanted more tech on this side, a little bit more technical quality on the ball. But also, if you're going to go down the physical route, own it. You know what I mean? It's like we'll get the biggest, most powerful, brute up front. And I know he's more than that. But
I don't know. But sorry. But I don't think being the big powerful forward makes.
But don't you think they've had that?
Pulling
don't
wide.
You think Saka Martinelli? There was a little bit this against Villarreal, but against Bilbao, don't you think they looked like they were getting more runs in behind? Like there was a little bit more space for them because Sunny defenders are a little bit more worried about Gyokeres. Now, look, you can overanalyze all this because Bilbao got battered by Man United last year, who were terrible. So let's, Bilbao. I don't think it was a great test, or nor did it prove a lot. But we wanted to see things in the style of football. And I saw with that second goal, the ball goes into Gyokeres, he touches it into Ødegaard, the ball's in behind, Martinelli to Saka, and we're in. You know, they were getting a little bit more central, and I felt that they were benefiting off Gyokeres being, you know, taking some kind of attention from defenders. And I think you can look into it all too much in one game, but I think there were encouraging signs there that those around Gyokeres. Ødegaard definitely benefited from Gyokeres in that game. I'm convinced of it. There was more space, there were runs, he was able to pick, and even when he got it wrong, I just love that he was trying it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And you need that wall pass. You need that wall pass as a midfield player. You need it. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? When you know you can put it into him, you're going to get it back, and you can then, you know, create from there. So I think you're right, James. I think it gives Ødegaard a little bit more space, and this is all on the back of Gyokeres, not 100% fit at the moment. I don't care what anybody says. There's, you know, he's 80% up now. I think, like, you know, another week. I don't even think when he goes to Man United he's going to be like 100, but I'm encouraged by it, like, you know. And listen, I still go to that first goal. The whack across in, he's on the end of it. I haven't seen Arsenal do that for so long. Even when Havertz was there, they'd work it into a different position before that cross come in. It was like, you know, I mean, look, put it in an area and we'll get a goal from it. Like, when do we ever put things into an area and score? It has to be precise and all that. For the first time, as you said, James, which is a great point, you didn't even think it was a great cross. It doesn't have to be. That's the point now. We haven't got to be perfect. You know, put it into areas and we can get goals. So I think, you know, we just got to see how it pans out. But listen, we've was it 3-4 years now? We haven't played. When was the last time we watched Arsenal with a centre forward? Probably Giroud. Probably was the last time we probably. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't think that Aubameyang was really a proper centre forward, was he? Like, maybe Lacazette, maybe, but like a proper number 9, a proper centre forward. I haven't seen it definitely for the last 2 years. So it's refreshing as far as I'm concerned.